What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Brendan, aka Drip from Team D.D.D, back with another video. In today's video, we have a requested Blue Eyes, like, not really combo guide, but play around / in-depth discussion on how like I approach my combos and stuff like that. So in theory, it's gonna be like a hybrid between combo video / discussion / coaching, free coaching pretty much. So take it where you can. Some of the information in this video can translate to other decks. It doesn't matter like it just being Blue Eyes. Some of the coaching stuff in this video will be able to be translated to other decks that you play potentially, like how to approach your combos and stuff like that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video, guys. All right, here we are at the first part of the interaction. A lot of this stuff, like combo related and stuff like that, a lot of you all are already going to know because the deck's been out for a bit of time now, so like you're all going to know it. But it's the interactions and what to start with and what to play around, if that makes sense. The main thing, the way I do it, is how I approach all my combos for all my decks. This is part of the video where you can translate it to any of your decks. The way I approach my combos is before I even start, I think you always have to just think your opponent has everything. You have, because a lot of times they frickin' do. So just pretend they have everything, and what can you do by playing around everything? I mean, granted, there's only so much you can do, but the main thing you want to do is play your combo or approach your combo to be able to play through / around the #1 Kryptonite of your deck, or what hand traps / board breakers hurt your deck the most. So in this case, if you open something like this, if you lead with Sage, then and you get drolled, Wishes is dead. Inherently, that's really why I don't like really opening Wishes, because like it's like a worse starter in some sense unless you open it with Sage, but it's still a great card and searcher nonetheless. So ideally here you want to play around Droll and Lockbird, or play through Droll. So what you want to do here is lead with the Wishes, because even if they don't Droll you and they just Ash this, typically if they Ash this, then you don't really have to worry about Droll. It's your opponent's interactions. It's basically a chess game. You feed off of their interactions to try to carve out what else they potentially have in their hand. So if they Ash Wishes, then you don't really have to worry about Droll, because in theory they could if they had both, if they had Droll and Ash, they would let this resolve, Droll you on res, and then if you try to use like a Roar or something like that, then they would Ash that. So that's what you got to think of when you're basically going through your combo. So what I would do here is I would start with Wishes, pitch a random card. Let's say they don't Ash it, but you're trying to play around Droll. This resolves. So like if this resolves, then the next thing you need to go in your mind is, instead of thinking they have Ash or checking for Ash, think for Droll. So what you do here is you would grab the Roar and the Maiden. Okay? All right. Now, once you get access to Roar, you can play through the Droll and still end on a subpar board. That's just it. Now, what you can do is, let's say they Droll us. Big shocker. They had Droll. Big whoop. All right. Now, in theory, it's not really a good idea to burn your Sage, because you're not going to get the full utility out of it. So what you want to do here is, now you're going to play around Bestials, and you're going to play around Ghost Ogre, because what you're going to do is you're going to use Maiden's Effect. Maiden's Effect will set the True Light, obviously. Now you don't want to commit to the board by normal summoning or using Roar before you use True Light, because if they have Ghost Ogre, then you go hard neg. So because of True Light's burn effect, pop effect, and blows up your whole board. So now what you're going to do is you're going to use True Light Effect to set the trap card. Or Ultimate Fusion if you so desire, but since they already drilled us, there's only like so much we can really do to play around. So like we're just going to set the trap and call it a day. So we set the trap. Now what we do is we'll go roar. Now if they ash this, then there's only so much you could have really done in the first place. But they're just double hand trap. But reminder, you probably had 2 other cards in hand. So if you had like a vanilla or something like that, you could summon this, link off into spirit, tribute to spirit, summon the vanilla, and summon maiden that way. But we're just predicting they only have ash. I mean, they only had droll. So here we go, summon vanilla, trigger maiden, summon maiden. Now here you banish. This is all standard, self-explanatory. Set the ultimate on the ultimate in the grave. I mean on the spell and trap. You don't want to hard make your guy yet, because if you're afraid your opponent has bestials, you don't want to make tyrant yet, because if you're worried about playing around bestials and stuff. Then you just summon this. Now you have targeting protection for that in the grave, and you have 3-4 other cards in hand and sage for the following turn. Guaranteed pop and a graveyard negate and a tag out, probably for anything really. Probably spirit ultimate though, to be fair and honest. And then True Light setting for more follow-up. So through Droll, which is our main Kryptonite, we still ended on half board. Mainly because of getting access to Roar. This is why I preach this card so much, because this card, like the #1 Kryptonite, a lot of people would try to tell you the Kryptonite to this deck is Nibiru, which is absolutely wrong, because as long as you have access to True Light, you're big chillin'. But the real kicker is Droll. As long as you get access to Roar, you're playing through that Droll no problem, unless they have Droll Ash or Droll Ash Imperm or something like that. But no matter what hand you had at that point, you probably weren't playing through that regardless. So that's why I preach this card. Now, let's try another hand to where we're trying to play through double Imperm. A lot of the combos kind of sequence the same, mainly through like Roar and stuff like that. But let's try, say we're playing around Nibiru or Ghost Ogre or something, popping this on their turn. Let's go ahead and check that discussion part out. All right, you could pretty much do the same thing with the same hand here. Granted, a lot of these combos could be sequenced just with different iterations of this combo. I'm just showing these versions. So let's say you misplayed and you're not trying to play around Droll and everything like that, and you're just ballsy as shit and make the wrong call, but just full send it and lead with Sage. So say you lead with Sage and they use his effect. Okay, then they use Imperm. Here, a lot of things I would do is, obviously, if I were to lead with Sage and I had this in hand, I would save this if I'm not trying to play around Droll, just to check for other hand traps, so I know what I need to go and get off of wishes. So I'll go Spirit. I'll use Spirit effect. Let's say they go Imperm again. They use double Imperm. Okay, so now this is turned off and we can't do nothing. So now we go Wishes, pitch the random card, add the Roar, add the Maiden. Okay, now this is where it's kind of ballsy, because like, if you, once you go Maiden to set the True Light, and you use True Light's effect, it kind of nukes your board, but you still have the Roar in hand, rather. So save the Roar after you use the True Light, because you already played ballsy. You're going to set the Majesty. Okay. Now, if you activate this and they have Ash and double Imperm, then that's just, they're just goated. But here we'll go Roar. Summon Vanilla. Since this is turned off, Maiden can trigger her effect now. So let's see here. But here we're also trying to play around Nib too. So we 1, 2, 3. Now, since we already have True Light access, we don't have to commit Maiden. So right here, to play around Nib and to play around Pop and Ogre on their turn, I would banish just to get the Neo Ultimate Engrave. Because a lot of times, even if you don't use this, it still baits a bestial, like probably like Druid Swarm or something. Now what I'll do here is I'll link these two off for Hieratic Seal. Now another reason why it's so important to banish this to get the ultimate graveyard is to get this out of graveyard so True Light can resolve to be able to set another one for the follow-up crackback or whatever. Now, because you're going to see what I'm going to do here. I'm going to do a kind of a in somewhat big brain play, because we have one pop and in theory a bounce off of this, but we're not going to bounce their card, but they're going to bounce our True Light just to protect it, and then trigger. We're going to do one of two things. We're going to trigger a Maiden, or we're going to summon something that's problematic. So what we're going to do here is in their turn, we're going to use True Light effect right off the rip here to set another Wishes, so we have searchability and follow-up on our next turn. Okay. Now we're going to, well, someone in their turn use Hieratic, because like if they target this, then so be it. But granted, you don't really have a board, so you don't really have to. This is just an option. Like if you had a full board plus Hieratic Seal, this is something else you can do. You can bounce the True Light back to your hand so it's safe from banishment or destruction or whatever. Granted, you don't really have a field. Secondary effect to summon. What I would summon here would be, since we haven't used our trap yet, I would summon another vanilla just to get it out of deck first of all, and then also to make us have a double pop now. And it'll also trigger Maiden in graveyard, because Maiden's a problematic card anyways, even if they attack it. Trigger Maiden, summon Maiden. Now what we can do is at someone their turn, you just use activate effect, reveal, double pop. And let's say they attack into this. Well, they'll probably attack this because it's 0/0 stats. This effect, trigger. You can either summon a vanilla or you can summon Sage. Granted, Sage won't really do you anything, but since we're playing like a pure version, we could summon like Ancients. If we had Ancients in graveyard, we summon Legend, we could summon Master, we could summon anything. But here we're just going to summon back vanilla because now he'll have his regular stats. And he's huge, and it prevents him from like really beating over us. So now we'll draw a random card. This is our hand. Now what we can do is we'll go effect, pitch, search. We can search the Ultimate Fusion here, plus Sage probably. Yeah, Sage is the obvious. Go Sage, then we'll normal the Sage. Now this is where we just go full combo through everything, because now we'll go Sage effect, search Priestess. So like, if you, hopefully you're being able to tag along and you're following me when I'm saying what you're trying to play around and stuff, and just play around what your opponent is going to do to your board. Obviously you're playing Blue Eyes, so like, if you establish your board and they didn't hand trap you, their number one priority is always going to be, anybody who knows Blue Eyes is going to be getting rid of your True Light. Because they know if they get rid of your True Light, not only do they limit your grind game, but as long as they don't banish it and they just destroy it, then it nukes your board. So it basically gives them a 2-for-1. They don't have to worry about your grind game, and it gets rid of your board. So as long as you can know how to navigate through that, you'll be able to know how to navigate through pretty much anything. So here we'll just proceed combo as normal. Go Spirit. Now with this effect, say they don't really have anything because we're already pissed through all their hand traps and stuff. Activate. Normal. Effect. Target. Effect. Now here, when it comes to Priestess, you need to, because she has to, after her effect technically resolves, it's like on one resolution, but it hasn't fully resolved yet. She has to send a card to the graveyard. You have to keep in mind, what do you not have access to consistently? Do you not have access to a level 8 vanilla, or do you not have access to a tuner? When she searches alternative, you don't really have access to a vanilla, because now we have both 2 in graveyard. Actually, I take that back. I forgot. In pure we run 3. So we will have access to an 8, but we won't have access to tuner. So we'll send an 8. So what we're going to do here is we will search our third copy of vanilla. That's another reason why pure third vanilla just is so mandatory. And our alternative, wherever he may be. Where are you, alternative? Here we go. Now, and then what you have to send, I would send the vanilla. The reason being because we have this to bring it back, and then trigger a maiden as well. So here we'll go, effect, tribute, summon vanilla. Granted, this is playing hard into nib, but if they have nib, they have it, because you've already played through 2 to 3 hand traps. So like if they have full hand traps, like a full hand of hand traps and whatever. Reveal, summon. Now here you have several options. You can make the double spirit play and still go crimson combo and all that too, to end on like double negates plus a Blue Eyes ultimate. Blue Eyes ultimate alternative rather. So you would end with a huge board, or you need to pop, but in my opinion, you don't need to pop stuff with ultimate fusion because they're not going to have a full board probably anyways, but you also have this. So, but also you have to get access to True Light again, so this is how I would play it out. I would go alternative effect, target the pop one. I would use this to activate the True Light. Now, what I would do is I would look at my graveyard real quick. I would, what else do I got in there? We haven't used True Light's effect yet. So what I'll do here is I would go Ultimate Fusion, and say we're going for a Blue Eyes Ultimate. I'd go this, these two. We have one gray, right? Yeah, we do. Shuffle these back. Now, we make Blue Eyes Ultimate alternative, and we'll pop a card. Pop a card since Blue Eyes alternative counts as vanilla on the board. Now we'll take these two, synchro into spirit. A lot of people think we're done here, but we're not, because we haven't used True Light's effect yet. True Light effect, summon vanilla. Now we're going to burn our to banish roar. Take these two to make the tyrant. The reason why we want the tyrant over the spirit is because tyrant will be able to reset the majesty. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to go effect, target, because it can be targeted by our own stuff, to get another vanilla and graveyard just out of the deck, to also turbo boost the majesty's production. So now what we'll do is we'll go battle phase, clear the board with this, so we can have a 5500 or whatever, not really 5500, but 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 5300 booty attack, but this is pretty much probably game right here. Tack, effect, if it's not, reset majesty, and then swing for 53 or whatever it was. Yeah, this is absolutely disgusting, but that's how you turbo that out. This same combo can be done exactly the same way with Magia, but the only difference is, instead of searching vanilla and alternative off of Priestess, you search Chaos Max and you search Chaos Max with it, and then like a Jet Dragon, just to have Jet access. Because then what you'll do is, instead of equipping Neo's ultimate off of the wishes, you'll equip the OG Blue Eyes Ultimate vanilla, the ultimate, just OG ultimate, to get access to that. And then synchro it away to get it in graveyard or whatever, and then after you use Priestess to add the Chaos Max, and then whatever, your Ultimate Fusion's live. So the exact same combo is done exactly the same way. Instead of turboing out Alternative, you're turboing out Yugioh. So literally like this, you use this. When you're going for it, search this, search Sage. If you don't already have Sage, then you search Priestess. If you already have it, get Priestess access. But the combo line for this and Yugioh is like solely reliant on getting access to this Mausoleum just to get the extra normal summon. That's another reason why a lot of times I'll play ballsy if I'm going for this line, because it is a ballsy line. If I'm going for this line, I'll hold the wishes, because I don't want to burn the wishes to search Priestess or whatever if my Spirit Dragon doesn't resolve to get Mausoleum access. Because if you don't get access to Mausoleum, then you're not going to be able to get to that line nonetheless. Anyway, so you're going to have to settle for a single Spirit or a double Spirit or Heretic Seal line. Which there's nothing wrong with that line either. It's just if you put him on board or Yugioh, it's just game regardless, either or. This is just a poor man's Yugioh right now. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that line, and pretty much it for everything in general. You just have to remember, you can't go into your combos or go into your games just getting hyper focused on your end board. You need to get hyper focused on what your opponent has to prevent your end board, because you'll have more luck and you'll have better turnouts and better wins, and not really just better wins, but better games if you go in hesitant per se. You just have to approach your combos thinking that they have everything to stop you, and to play around what hurts the deck the most. And what hurts this deck the most is Droll and Ogre. Ash is mid, Nib is mid. Other than that, it's just hit or miss between what really hurts the deck. But it's mainly Droll and Imperm too is pretty impactful. But if you have enough extension and they don't have another Imperm, then you're fine. But that's just what you have to do, no matter what version of the deck you're playing or whatever deck you're playing in general. If you take anything away from this video, whether you're a Blue Eyes player or not, is approach your combos as if your opponent has everything to stop you and knows exactly how to stop you. Because if you do, you'll always be a step ahead. And that's the whole purpose of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is to be a step ahead. Granted, I know there's only so much you can do with certain hands, and you're forced to play into hand traps and stuff like that. I get that. That's just all part of the game. It's all part of Yu-Gi-Oh! But if you open Nutty and open Godly, just don't full send it, because you'll get hyper-focused and tunnel-visioned, and you will just get punished. And you'll be just mad at yourself and discouraged and all that stuff. But that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And if I missed anything out, let me know in the comment section down below if you have any questions or anything else that I may have missed. I had a blast making this video, and I really like hearing from you guys on video requests. And if I can actually produce them, then I really like producing them for you guys, because your guys' happiness is all that matters to me. But anyways, I love you guys so much. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. Bell notification, subscribe, bell notification so you never miss an upload. Check the description for all the ways to support me. My Patreon is down there if you want more of this stuff or more one-on-one interaction. Sometimes Patreon's really weird, so I can't really post videos on there sometimes, but we can do one-on-one discussions on there, and we can talk it out and stuff like that. And whether it's this deck or another deck that I play, or if you're on one of the higher tiers, if it's a deck that I'm not I don't really know, I can learn it and give you my input on it. But yeah, guys, I love you so much. It's your boy Brandon, aka Drip from D.D.D. Signing out for next time. Peace. Good doing, my guys. Love you.